Now that we have taken a look at the top 3 strongest subordinates of Rimuru Tempest, let's continue the series with our Purple Empress and the number 1 secretary Shion. So today we'll be taking a look at Shion's character and finding out just how powerful she really is. As always, I will be including information from the light novel, so here's a spoiler warning for everyone just in case. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Tensura content.
様だけリムル様と遊びに行くだなんて
仕事だから
To start, Shion used to be one of the many monsters that inhabited the Great Jura Forest, and she belonged to the ogre tribe along with Benimaru, Shuna, Soe, Hakuro, and Kurobe. But as we all know, her village was attacked by the orcs and she had to flee the village with the remaining survivors. After escaping, they would eventually meet Rimuru and quickly surrendered after Benimaru saw how powerful he was. After a series of events, she and the other ogres became the third group of monsters to be given names by Rimuru. She was given the name Shion and had evolved into a Kijin, a powerful species of monster that has the rank of Special A, or also known as the Calamity class. She participated in the battle against the Orc disaster where she easily took out hordes of orcs with her Hercules edge, and she even showed how strong she became after evolving by literally splitting the earth open with her strength. After the Orc disaster was defeated, Benimaru decided they want to stay and become subordinates of Rimuru, so Shion was given the role of being his secretary and bodyguard. She also has a very cute and competitive relationship with Shuna, constantly fighting for Rimuru's attention, but they are still very close friends. However, Shion's biggest turning point was during Rimuru's awakening as a true demon lord. During a preemptive attack by the Farmer Kingdom, Shion had faced off against the otherworlder Shogun Taguchi, who was around the Calamity threat level while she was weakened by the anti-magic barrier, and she was still able to equally match him. The only reason she did not finish him off was simply because of the rules set by Rimuru to not harm any humans. However, we all know what happened and she was eventually killed, but even then, she was only killed because she had to protect a little girl from the charging Falmouth Knights. So in the end, Shion along with 100 people were killed, but thanks to the barrier surrounding the city, all their souls were not scattered into the world, so Rimuru still had a chance to save them if he became a true demon lord. So he decided to wipe out the entire Falmouth army and undergo the transformation. When he awakened as a true demon lord, the ultimate skill, Wisdom King Raphael, took control of his body to perform the secret art of resurrection to resurrect the dead. The ritual worked, and the people that were killed would eventually become a new immortal unit under Shion's command called the Yomigairi, and they had acquired the extra skill Perfect Memory EX and Self-Regeneration EX, which I'll explain in a bit. Now, during the resurrection, Shion had evolved from a Kijin into a Wicked Oni, a parallel branch of evolution from a Fair Oni, making her now at the S rank or disaster class threat level. Now, a bit of theory crafting. What I personally think is that the only reason Shion evolved into a Wicked Oni was because when Raphael was about to perform the ritual, she didn't have enough magic use for it, and it was only enough after she had used the 2 greater demons Diablo offered as sacrifices. And because Demon Magicuse likely has dark properties, when it was mixed in with the rest of the Magicuse, it somehow altered the resurrection, which could explain the change in her evolution from the other Kijins and made her into a Wicked Oni, but that's just a theory. A slime theory.
What the fuck?
That said, as a Wicked Oni, Shion had obtained several important skills that would make her a very dangerous and powerful individual. But first, let's go over some of the intrinsic skills that a Wicked Oni possesses, and the first one is known as Ultra Speed Regeneration, an enhanced version of the self-regeneration I mentioned just now, and it gives the user incredible regeneration properties. The only way to stop the regeneration is to literally destroy the entire physical body of the user on an atomic level, or using skills that bypass the physical body and is able to target a user's spiritual form. Then there's Perfect Memory, but I'm not sure what the EX means because the function is just the same. It's an ability that allows the soul of the user to survive in a spiritual form even if their physical body is destroyed, and they are even able to retain their memories after being revived. This is why Ultra Speed Regeneration and Perfect Memory work well together, making them basically immortal as long as their spiritual form remained. Now, the last intrinsic skill a Wicked Oni possesses is the ability of Ogre Berserker. It mainly helps to increase the physical attack of the user, additionally boosting their strength, speed, and other physical attributes as well. But that's not all, because after she was resurrected, she also received a gift in the form of the unique skill Master Chef. Now, don't let the name fool you, because it is in fact a unique skill that is powerful enough to rival an ultimate skill thanks to the sub-effects of the skill. The first of this effect is called Guarantee Results, and it allows Shion to turn any of her desires into truths. Basically, she can override the very nature or reality of any object simply through her willpower. How this works is that Shion is able to dictate what is considered to be correct in the real world, like how she managed to separate and stick together the different limbs of the Falmer prisoners, turning them into Cronenberg-esque monsters without them dying because this has become their normal form. That's why when King Amarus returned back to Falmouth, no healers or doctors could heal him because he was already considered to be normal. This ability was so unique that it even confused someone like Diablo, and he had to resort to extreme methods just to break the curse. This was the power of Guarantee Results, and when paired with another sub-effect called Optimal Action, Shion is able to read the flow of energy coming from her surroundings and the enemy, allowing her to easily predict and read the movements of opponents, which allowed her to quickly pinpoint weaknesses and cut through them, as was the case when she fought against Clayman. So apart from the skill Master Chef, she also had acquired a few extra skills like All-Seeing Eye, which raises the user's reaction speed and allow them to see themselves from a third-person perspective. Magic Sense, the ability to sense the magicules around them. Multi-layer barrier that gives the user protection by having multiple thin barriers surrounding them. Spatial travel essentially just allows users to travel to places they have been to before. And finally, Haki, an aura that the user gives off to put pressure onto any enemies. Additionally, Rimuru also gave Shion a revised version of Hercules' Edge that now had the same effect as Hinata's Dead End Rainbow, meaning she can now destroy the spiritual body of opponents but without the 7 hits limitation. Moving on, interestingly enough, Shion is probably the only person in Tempest to have a fan club consisting of at least 10,000 members, and what's even funnier is that the club is led by the 3 sons of Demon Lord Dagriel, who became Shion's subordinates after they were beaten to a pulp by her for criticizing Rimuru. I just wanted to share this info because I thought it was quite funny. Now I want to give a special mention to Shion's fight against the Insecta Razul, an entity that belonged to the same race as Zagion. What's important to take away from this fight is the way in which Shion approaches it, because normally Shion is a really brash fighter, always charging in and overwhelming enemies with just a strength alone, but during her fight with Razul, it wasn't like that at all. Yes, although she still fought him aggressively and carelessly, but she knew that the damages she took could still be healed, unlike Ranga, who was also fighting alongside her. She knew if they fought with Razul for attrition, they would lose eventually, so she made a choice to have Ranga rest and accumulate magical energy for a final attack while she utilized her ultra speed regeneration to tank the damages. And even then, whenever she got a chance, she would always try to attack the same location in hopes of weakening Razul's exoskeleton for their final attack, because she knew that once his flesh is exposed, she can activate the skill Master Chef and it would be their win. This way of fighting really showed how mature Shion has become after her resurrection. She understood that fighting with brute force doesn't always work, and that sometimes it's better to use tactics and skills instead. And it was during this fight that one of the intrinsic skills of Shion, Ogre Berserker, evolved to become a separate unique skill known as Battle God. This new unique skill greatly increased her physical attributes and also mentally strengthened her fortitude as well as her Haki. She also acquired a new sub-skill called Chaotic Fate, which makes all of her attacks capable of altering the very laws of the world, and the best way to describe it would be an attack that brings the result she wishes for. And with this boost in power, Shion and Ranga unleashed their final attack on Razul. She attacked him with Chaotic Fate, striking at the same location on the exoskeleton, and with Ranga's charged up Black Lightning flowing through Hercules' Edge, she managed to cut through his exoskeleton. And with the flash exposed, she quickly used Master Chef and directed the lightning towards his entire body, scorching all of his insides and killing him. This was honestly one of Shion's greatest feats and really showed how much she has grown, not just physically but mentally as well. Having said that, I'm sure viewers on my channel are familiar with the concept of the 12 patrons and know about the reward ceremony to make them into true Demon Lords, but out of all the patrons that managed to evolve into true Demon Lords and receiving an ultimate skill, Shion was in fact the only patron to not evolve nor receive an ultimate skill. Although she did not evolve or receive any gifts, her subordinates, the Yomigairi and the fan club, did receive the gifts instead, and this caused them to evolve into dead ogres, semi-spiritual beings that resemble demons but still possess a physical body, which again was likely affected by the fact that Raphael had mixed in the magicules of the 2 greater demons from before. So going back to Shion, the only gift she got was essentially just a title of Warlord, but there's actually an explanation for why she couldn't evolve. It was later explained by Seal, the evolved version of Raphael, that Shion actually had the potential to evolve, but Seal stopped the evolution because the unique skill Master Chef was too unpredictable and dangerous to be given an ultimate form. Like I said, Master Chef was a skill that could rival an ultimate skill, and Seal knew the clumsy and impulsive nature of Shion, and there was no way she would give her a skill that could potentially kill Rimuru. So that's mainly why Shion didn't evolve into a true Demon Lord, but despite that, it's still surprising that she was a Super Awakened and had an EV of 4,229,140, and if we add Hercules Ash into it, the EV would be 5,309,140. If I'm not wrong, I think Shion already had this EV when she got resurrected, meaning she was likely the second strongest subordinate of Rimuru for a while, right behind Diablo, before Zagion and the 12 patrons were even introduced. So yeah, Shion is probably one of the most dangerous non-true Demon Lords in the Tensura universe right now with her unique skill Master Chef, but we all know the true terror of her power comes from her amazing cooking skills. That said, I honestly can see why she's loved by so many fans. I mean, just look at her personality. But in all seriousness, it would still be good to see her getting an ultimate skill in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see. Overall, I really enjoy her character, but what about you? Are you part of the Shion fan club and do you like the character? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give the video a like, subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell for more Tensura or other anime content in the future. As always, thanks for watching and stay safe everyone.